I'm Sarah Jeffries. Professionally, I'm a leader in a global charity and I work in the people and culture space. Personally, I'm mum to a wonderful young person who has been attending In Focus activities and sessions and groups for a couple of years now, and it has been for them transformational. He feels more valued for the uniqueness that is him, which then gives him more confidence, and he will talk more positively about himself rather than focusing on the challenges. Yeah, I see that. When he joined, he was newish into college. I'm just trying to remember. So it was a big transition for him. Wanted to develop more social skills and social confidence. So it was a big moment in time for him. And to take the step into another space of where he didn't know anyone was a big leap. But creativity has been his anchor through his whole life. So I think that's where he was when he joined. And it was because we knew somebody connected to In Focus who was able to meet him on the first night and who he trusted. That's what got him through the door on that first evening, thank goodness. Do as much as you can around, for example, allyship. I think just to walk into somewhere and see and hear and experience and feel these people have the same experience as me, whether that's age or other intersectionalities. The people there understand him and he understands them, and he often doesn't feel that with other groups of people. And therefore that becomes really, really important. The Tuesday group, the neurodivergence, the community support for the LGBTQIA plus community, and to layer creativity onto that, that is just such a wonderfully diverse and inclusive safe space to support. And you can't even describe, you can hear me, it's really difficult to describe. From a feelings perspective, that's just irreplaceable. Because of the safety, the inclusivity, and the feeling of I belong, and these are people on my wavelength who understand both the brilliance that we have, but some of the challenges we have day to day as well. And I think to have that, what that unlocks, which is what it has done in him, is more social confidence. But even more than that, he is more articulate in talking about things that matter, in being an ally to others, in being braver and speaking up more, which is amazing. The other thing is the creativity side of things. It connects to his college work. So by doing this, it adds a layer of impact and skill and achievement into college work that he's doing as well, which is great. I mean, if you can get that from a couple of hours a week, that's incredible, isn't it? He comes in on the bus, we pick him up, bring him home, and if particularly he's had a difficult couple of days, he is just like on the way home, you can sense, he's just been heard and he's been able to share. We don't know the detail, and that's exactly as it should be, and we don't need to know the detail, but he's just had some time and some space to share exactly how he's feeling and for people to understand it rather than just, empty nods or just saying, oh, okay. And, you can't put a price on that. The creativity, the sense of community and the sense of safety. So he has the incentive to take steps out of his comfort zone, which is amazing. He's calmer and he's more grounded and more settled when he comes back from a session, and that can translate onwards beyond the evening of the session. Is much better now at talking about different choices and options around identity. And he's done that safely and strongly and ruled in and ruled out. And that's exactly what we want for him. He makes his own choices thanks to this group and this charity. And what's also lovely is if college or other things or life is a bit overwhelming, he might miss some, he comes back in. And it's like he's never been away and he's never nervous about going back to it, which for him is a big step. But the other things is, and he's proud, we're proud, is like the exhibitions that happen and being involved in those and then being invited to the private, the preview evenings and then him joining back with the people on the evening of those. I mean, that gives a even more tangible sense of achievement and accomplishment, and a sense of, it builds the sense of self-worth and value. It's not all about the exhibitions, but it's such a brilliant idea to put some kind of outcome and event or milestone to celebrate the work, and then the repurposing of the exhibition, and then the phone boxes, and then being invited back. It just creates a sense of warmth and positivity and inclusivity. So I think that's a brilliant way of just adding to the more regular meetups, and he loves them. But there's a phrase I love, which I use a lot at work, is people support what they help to create. So if your young people have been involved in the name of the exhibition, or how we display it here, or something else, this sense of accomplishment and pride, you're just elevating that. It's what you're telling them by doing that you trust them, but you're helping them to develop decision-making skills. You're helping them to think of critical thinking in terms of, we've got option A, option B, option C. What would I say to a young person considering this? It's a real, taking that first step, as with anything, is really hard to do, but just somehow trust that you will be welcomed and you will have found people that you relate to and will help you to make sense of the world. That's the thing, and not feel different in a bad way. Difference is brilliant, but sometimes it's seen as a bad or negative thing. So just find a routine, whether it's contacting In Focus in advance. This is what we did for my young person, and there was a way of, there was some extra arrangements set up just to get him through the door in the first place. Be honest with what might be stopping you from attending, and they will support you and find a way to just make that 10-20% easier. And then when you get through the door, you'll never look back in terms of the community and that sense of belonging, and that sense of, this is helping me to make sense of the world. This becomes the place of influence and control that helps us to deal with the other stuff externally. I see the confidence and the calmness when he comes home after the session. I don't necessarily see what had been produced by him and the other young people week in, week out. So to walk into that exhibition and for him to say, that's mine, that's mine. And then he was named as part of the community of young people who had done it. So I think the moment of, I'd already noticed the confidence improvement and week in, week out, but the more tangible, stepping into that exhibition, seeing all the young people and what they'd achieved, that first exhibition, it will stick with me forever. And I've been to other exhibitions since have been just as good, but that first one, in terms of that, those photographs, those designs, those images, it's what they represent. It's the fact they represent confidence and belief and togetherness and community. It's not just the technical brilliance of it, which is also very clever and very creative. It's what it represents. That's the thing that sticks with me.